I'm sure you guys want to dissect the film, as I was telling Chad also, but any separation to you with the quarterbacks? Anybody stand out to you?
Yeah, like you said, Trey, we'll go back and grade the film. You know, it's never as good as it seems, it's never as bad as it seems. You know, I was really proud of all of them. I thought the whole offense started a little slow. John Stephen was kind of backed up a little bit, had a 3rd and long, hit somebody over the middle to get the drive going on the next rack, and we went down and scored. So John Stephen really got us started today. But I was proud of all those guys. They all made good plays. And again, it's all about consistency and continuing to get your guys in the end zone. That's what I'm harping on those guys. No matter who you're in there with, get them in the end zone. And the best one at that right now is John Stephen. No matter if he goes with the 2s or the 3s, he gets them in the end zone. And thought he did a really good job of that today. But we'll go back and grade the film. Like I said, it's never as good as it seems, never as bad as it seems.
Joe, just overall, did you feel like it was a better day for the offense than some of the earlier practice had been? And who stood out to you?
You know, I think we've had a lot of good days, to be honest with you. You know, we're getting a lot of reps in practice. Man, it's challenging for the coaching staff. It's challenging for our players when they're out there. But, man, we're getting some great work. Young guys that, shoot, man, and last year they wouldn't have gotten many reps, you know, and they're getting a ton. And so it's building depth. We got to get some guys ready to play. And I think it's been really good to get our offense a lot of those reps. But, you know, I thought, you know, anytime you go live like we did today, tackle to the ground, you know, you're gonna make somebody miss, whereas in practice you're gonna blow it dead, you know. And I thought our running backs, you know, Traylon Smith, man, that little sucker's he's hard to tackle. And he made some great runs today. He really stood out in my mind. He does some really good things. But today was live and took him to the ground, and we were able to make some plays. And, again, it's never as good as it seems, never as bad as it seems. I'm sure we're going to see a ton of mistakes. I can already think of a bunch right now, a handful of them that we got to go get corrected, and we will do that for the rest of fall camp.
I know he's only had 8 practices, but some of the athleticism that he's shown and stuff, if he continues on this path, what is his ceiling?
He don't have one. He don't have a ceiling. That kid can be as good as he wants to be. And the thing you love about him, I was talking to Coach Morris the other day, you know, he has that Deshaun Watson mindset, that Deshaun Watson focus. He comes out to work every day. Does he mess stuff up? Yeah, he's a freshman. But, man, you know, love having that kid around. He works his butt off, wants to be great. Studies it hard, but watches extra film. Been really, really proud of him. Been really proud of TQ. TQ is also a guy that has tremendous speed. We knew that our offense would be a little bit of a learning curve for him coming from high school, and he's got to continue to learn, continue to study. But again, I think we hit on all those freshmen. All of our freshmen are going to be good players in due time.
Hey, Joe, you said that John Stephen is somebody over the middle to kind of get the offense going. Do you remember who he hit?
I think it was Tyson Morris. I had to go back and watch the film. I want to say it was Tyson Morris over the middle.
Okay, and I had a question about the offensive line. Since you guys got in full pads, and I guess today was heavy contact, what do you thought about the offensive line as a whole? And maybe Ty Cleary in particular, how's he doing at center? Is he kind of over the snap issues? What have you seen from Ty?
Yeah, early on the snaps were a little off. We had a couple today, not by Ty, by Bo. You know, Bo's a guy that played tackle in high school, moving inside the center. It's a new position for him, so you're going to have some snaps occasionally by him. But Ty's snaps ever since the first couple of days have been fine. You know, the biggest thing is, and y'all know that, you know, Coach Chavis brings a lot of different things. We're seeing a lot of different things, and I love that. I wouldn't want it any other way this early in camp because we can get a lot of things corrected. And I really feel like in the game, you can throw the kitchen sink at us, and we're going to be ready for it. It's nothing we haven't seen. So, you know, I think that those guys are doing fine. Like I said, they're getting a lot of work. They're dead tired right now, which they need to be in camp. And we need to keep stepping on them a little bit and keep pushing them and keep developing and develop some sort of continuity. That's the biggest thing up front. And, you know, moving guys around like Myron, we've got to find a spot for him on the field. He's a good player for us, and I think he's going to be one of our best 5 when it comes down to it. So we're going to have to do a great job of finding a place for him to get on the field.
Is it just better to have, you know, the numbers are so much better?
Well, again, last year we wouldn't have been able to do what we're doing, getting as many reps as we're getting. So to have that many guys up front, we're able to split the fields and almost do 4 groups. There's a couple guys that have to go about 8 plays in a row, but other than that, Coach Fry does a good job of cross-training guys and moving guys around. So those guys are getting a lot of reps, and again, we couldn't have done that last year without the depth that we have there, with obviously adding some walk-ons in there as well.
Gatlin out, who got the most work at backup right tackle today, and who were you really involved with?
Well, we're moving a couple different guys around. We'll move to Boise over there some at right tackle. We'll also, when we do that, Brady Latham goes in there as well at the other tackle, and so we've been cross-training those guys a little bit. Fry's put a lot of different guys out there, and I had to go back and really look at the film to see who all played right tackle today. But again, we're moving a lot of guys around. We really hated to lose Noah. Noah's a great kid. He's going to be a great player for us. Kind of one of those freak deals that happens. Not a dirty play, wasn't any contact, just kind of one of those freak deals. So, we've just been really trying to put our arms around Noah and love on him, and he'll be stronger than ever when he comes back.
You had a couple things. You touched on it, the splitting of the fields. Chad said he's going to be doing that from now on. Was that just kind of a eureka thing? We've got enough depth, we need to do this, and how's it paying off?
Well, it's paying off because we're getting a lot of reps. Guys are getting, like I said, guys are, that weren't, if this was last year, they wouldn't have probably got maybe 1 or 2 snaps, maybe all practice. And now they're getting 25, 30, 40 reps in a game, in a live scrimmage type situation. So I think it's definitely developing our young guys, even though some may redshirt. At least they're getting the shot to show us what they can do. There's not going to be any, well, Coach, I didn't have a chance to show you what I can do. There's not going to be any of that. All of them are going to get plenty of reps and plenty of opportunities to show us what they can do to get on the bus and make the travel squad. So, I think it's been great. Hopefully our numbers are where they're at right now forever, and we can do this as many times as we can because, again, you're going to get a lot of guys better a lot faster.
What was your what would be your assessment of the receiving core right now, and also what will end up separating the top 2 quarterbacks?
Receiving core, I think Coach read off all guys that caught a touchdown today, so I'm not going to go back through that. But they're doing some really good things. We just got to get, we've got to get the finer details of the offense down. There's a little bit too many mistakes out there. Just understanding, when we're doing something and when we're not, and a lot of that comes from youth, and again, getting it on the film and going up and watching it and getting it corrected in the meeting room. That's what it's all about. So, I've been very pleased with their progress at this point. Again, it's all about getting reps, and they're getting a ton of them. So, there's only so much you can teach them in a meeting room, and so getting them out there and getting them reps. They got to learn quick, and I think they're doing a good job of that. And what was your second question?
What will separate the top 2 teams?
Just consistency. Like I said, we're looking for, whoever I put you in there with. If I put you in there with the 3s, Ben or Nick, if I put you in there with the 3s, go put them in the end zone. That's what we're wanting to see. Who can move the ball, and who can be most consistent, taking care of the football. And last year we were 129 and 130 in turnovers lost, and I think we've done a much better job at this point in fall camp. So we just got to continue taking care of the ball, and we're on the right track doing that first week.
Coach, defense got a lot of attention this past week with turnovers, the belt, all that kind of stuff. Do you think the offense came in today with maybe a chip on their shoulder, maybe something to prove against the defense today?
Well, the offense comes to work every day. I think, I love those guys. I tell them every practice. I love them. It's really, we really want to talk about the belt and all that kind of stuff. It's really about, there's a lot of plays being played, and there's a lot of statistics that are kind of stacked against us. And I love that. I have no problem with that, because all that matters when we got Portland State out there, come first game, we got to be ready to go. That's all that matters to me. And so we've been working extremely hard. We've run 1,000, what I counted before today, we've run 1,034 snaps. of things that we're counting turnovers and we're doing all those things, and we've had 17. That puts us at 1 out of every 61 plays and at 1.6%. That we're never going to accept turnovers in this program. Never. But when we get to that, and we were 129 last year, you look at that, that puts us in about the top 30. And so if we can do that and we can continue to keep harping on that, we're going to be pretty good. But I'll say it again, turnovers are never accepted in this program. We got to continue to work on that, and we will the next couple weeks until we get ready for Portland State.
Coach, at what point in fall camp do you guys start specifically prepping for Portland State?
It'll be a couple weeks. We'll go next week. We won't. I really haven't looked too much farther out than that. It's usually about, about 10 to 12 days out. We'll start looking at a couple things here and there. Again, with Chief doing what he does, we're seeing a lot of different looks. So, I said this last year, first game, there's going to be a lot of adjustments. You never know what they could do differently that you haven't seen on film. So I love the fact, again, that we're seeing a lot of different things in practice and having to adjust, and, that's going to make us nothing but better. So we'll do that. We'll start looking at that about 10 to 12 days out, I believe.
17 turnovers and over 1,000 snaps. Is that a pleasant surprise to you that there's that few? And what do you think's been the key to that?
It's not a pleasant surprise. I don't want any turnovers. I don't want any. It's football, and I told our guys all the time, it's football. Things are gonna happen. Things happened today. We didn't start well, and it's all about how you respond. We have a saying around here, E plus R equals O. Event plus response equals your outcome. And so whatever the event is, it's all about how you respond. That's going to determine your outcome. So, and we also talk about it too. We brought the Navy SEAL guys. I think I talked to a lot of you guys at the golf course on that. We brought those guys in, and one of their sayings was, how you handle adversity is how you handle adversity. And so I thought today we handled that adversity. Once we started a little slow, we kind of picked it up, made some plays, and got it going a little bit.
What do you think's been the key in practice to not have very many?
I think there's always a constant focus, constant reminders. I can think of times where, the ball gets a little loose and we're charting what we call BIJs, ball in jeopardy. The ball's in jeopardy, we're charting that, and we hold our guys accountable. If you're putting that ball in jeopardy in practice, guess what? We're not going to count on you in the game. Because if we can't turn the football over. So if you can't protect it in practice, and again, we're charting everything. If there's a BIJ, we're charting it, and we're constantly holding those guys accountable to take care of the football.
Well, that's not necessarily a turnover. That's if a guy's kind of holding the ball loose.
That's just holding the ball loose. That's right. Yep.
Joe, where you feel like you are with the run game, and how's the tailback situation looking?
Again, we didn't start very well up front. I didn't think today running the football. I want to go back and watch the film. I don't want to say anything that's not true. I think we've done some really good things. We've had some days that we've run the ball really, really well. Me and Coach Morris are constantly switching fields. And so I just, I kind of go back and watch the film and know those things. But I just remember, some days we were running the ball pretty well. Our defense up front, we got some good players, man. Sosa and Scooter, those guys can really play, and T.J. Smith, Jay Marsh, those guys are good players. So there's days they're going to stop us. I mean, it just is what it is. They got to play. They play too, and so I like to refer to it as iron sharpens iron, and we're getting after each other and we're making each other better.
By game one, do you feel like you'll be able to separate the three best receivers, or do you anticipate a lot of rotation at the beginning?
Yeah, we're gonna rotate guys. We like to rotate about 6 to 7, depending on what we got in a game, especially early on. With it being as hot as it will be first game out here, we're gonna have to play some guys, try to keep some guys fresh. We're constantly pushing those guys in practice. Again, I don't see how you can't be in shape come game one doing what we're doing. So those guys are getting a lot of reps in the heat, and we just got to continue to push through and continue getting better.
One more for Coach Craddock.
Hey, that 17 and 1,034, was that going into today's scrimmage?
That was going into today, yeah. I think we ran, I don't know if Coach said it, I think I scripted about 175 plays today. and we had a lot of them. I don't know if we ran more or less, but it seemed like a lot. So I believe we had 2 turnovers today. I think Coach said that. And so, again, we'll go back and continue to look at that, continue to get better. Thanks, guys. Y'all have a good Saturday.